Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Dimwits Let's Play. Hopefully this one's come out a little bit quicker than episode 6. If I can just beat 6 months, I'll be doing okay. Today we are going to be removing Santa Claus. In fact, I've already done it. Look, it's gone. Look, I'll show you. There is no Santa Claus. I'll show you a quick time lapse of that in a moment. And in the meantime, I'm going to go down into the nipple. And down here I need to start work on some kind of proper storage system, because as you know, the mess up there is ridiculous. It's an absolute eyesore. So down here, which is always a fun way to go, because you have to open your... Oh, too late. I didn't open my light during time. So down here I've put down a bit of a template. So although the room is very big, this will be the size of the room. It's going to be a very small room. I might expand things out a bit so that I can do it a bit bigger, and then have maybe some proper elevators here as well. But basically everything behind these cobblestone bricks these are going to have lots of storage behind them, so that when you come down here you can literally reach everything that you need. So all of my items pretty much will be stored here. It'll be a proper sorting system. There'll be something to put in here that says you just throw all your stuff into one of the chests, and then it will start going through the sorting system and sort itself out properly. So I'm going to start looking at that now, whilst you go and look at the time lapse of Santa finally coming down. And so I've just managed to expand this out a little bit. It took longer than I wanted it to. It took about an hour or so maybe. I've only expanded this out 3 blocks in every direction, but mathematics says that's a lot of blocks. So as you can see, it's a bit wider, and now you can see there's spaces here, whereas before these were touching. That's because they've all gone back 3 as well, and gone back 3 there. So basically what we're going to have here is we'll probably be raised a little bit higher here, and we will have chests going down along here on each of these sides, and then these corners, it's going to be a bit complicated. I've got to somehow connect all 4 of these sides up. I can't go down, but I also want to have bubble elevators here, because obviously flying in through a tiny hole up there is not ideal. So I'm going to make some bubble elevators and try and figure out a way of making this work. So I'll come back when I've hopefully done that. A slight change to our schedule program. The work that we've been doing is down there. I haven't done anything since our last cut, but that's because I have just found out that I've got a tunnel to build. So I don't know if you recall, but a few episodes ago we created a place for to create nether tunnels for people and to link them up, and it looked awful. So I destroyed it. There's nothing here. What I was going to do was build just down. Is it down there? I think it is. Yeah. If we just go down here, you can see that I have literally done nothing. I've just opened this out. This is going to be, I think, a cave that I'm going to make. And this is where you'll come to go to the shop. So because I haven't got an official shop front to it, I see here that Sir Hulky, as you can see, I've got my mending books here, which nobody wants, and I've got lots of other rubbish in here that I've just left, but he's put in a book. And let's have a look what it says. We is in need of a portal, I'm trying to speak like him, to be married up to one I have made in a new project in it. Please can you make a portal to match up with the portal which is at Cowards Overground. Thank you muchly. Okay, so he wants us to set up another tunnel, and basically the issue that a lot of people have is maths. Getting the nether portal to link up correctly with the nether in the right place, etc., takes a bit of doing. So I'm gonna get some resources and I'm going to go over there and see exactly what's needed. Okay. Well, let me read this again. 1540, that is where I am. 86, that is where I am. 1029, that is where I am. Can you please make a portal to match up with the portal which is already at the coordinates? So apparently there is a portal right here. I had to dig. There is no portal here. I get the feeling that he may have written down the coordinates incorrectly. I'm going to need to go find out. So as I thought, that those coordinates we were given were incorrect. If we look here, that should have been minus 540, not 1540. So we're a little bit off by 2,000 blocks. So thank you for sending me on a wild goose chase there, Hulk. I will try and find it again. Found it! So yeah, when we go to the correct coordinates, i.e. the ones he didn't give us, we've actually found something. Now I've heard that this is going to be some kind of elytra flying course or something, which is going to be awesome. But we're here because he needs this linked in properly, because apparently at the moment, let's go through. Yeah, it takes him through to Princess Lil's portal. So I'll get to work in getting the right coordinates for that and putting it in the right place, and then hopefully we can get on with what we were doing before. Here we are, and let's just light this up and let's see if this takes us through to the right place. Fingers crossed. Yep, here we are. So that has been successfully linked. I've done nothing else. I haven't created a pretty tunnel. I haven't put up any signs. It is just as you see here, all the way through. It's just a tiny little tunnel, and in fact there are areas that don't even have walls on, like here and here, but in one of these directions, I think it's this one, this is the way back home, I think. He says hopefully. Yes. So this is back to my place here. So yeah, he'll just need to set up all the signs and do a nice tunnel, or he can ask me to do it for an extra very large fee. Right, so back, I think, to go to the main base and work on the nipple. And here we are back inside the nipple, and we're missing something. No hole. Although there is one up there, but no hole here. That's because we have one there, and we have one on the other side. If we just drop down, we now have a bubble elevator. There we are, see? And this is all thanks to Dim. Whilst I was off building tunnels for Sir Hulk, she kindly placed in these two bubble elevators, although I have mentioned that it might be good to have another two to make it all symmetrical, which made her want to kill me, but still, it's looking really, really good. She's picked a really good palette, so I really have no excuse now not to get started on this sorting system. I think I've done all I can to avoid it, so let's get started. I found another excuse. 3 hours of gathering materials, and now I think I might be ready to do this. Except I'm not. Yeah, well, what happened was, and I'm not trying to put it off again, but I went and did my first ever live stream last night, and so I didn't think it'd be much fun doing a live stream of me trying to work with redstone. Don't think it's a wise idea to do that, so I decided to finally fix the shop for, as you can see the title up here, Portal and Tunnel Creating Services. I didn't come up with a witty title for this one. Yeah, I thought it was about time, because this was literally just a hole in the ground, and that was it. And we kept on meaning to do it, so I'll quickly show you what we've done. We've got an up and a down here. So let's go down. Might fill all this and change the look of that, but this is what we've done. You see, now we've got this little underground tunnel, because it's a tunnel making service, so we're showing off our mad skills. And yeah, it's just a very simple area to place an order, put them in there, and then when I see that, I will come and build your tunnel or link up your portal or whatever it is you want. And as it's a bespoke service, I can't put a set price, so I'll tell them the price when they ask for it and before I make any changes. So yeah, it now looks a bit more like a shop, which is great. And whilst I was doing the live stream, before actually, later on, the day after the live stream, which is today, earlier on today, Sir Hulk came out here and made some changes. So he's prettied up all of the, well, not all of it, but this side. So as you can see, he's put in these borders, he's put in, he's just made it look generally much nicer. Really gone to town on it. I think he was bored and needed something to do, and I'm very glad that he is, he turned out to be bored, because it looks lovely. He's also apparently put in, I can tell because of how fast I'm running, he's up to the power of this now to a level 2, so that's great. He even put down some cacti for me, and so yeah, this is looking a bit better now. I can now take away this at some point when I've got room to put all the things in my inventory, and that'll finally be gone. And I can probably get rid of this, because nobody's now ever going to buy my mending books, because we get such a good deal on mending in here. He was a very clever boy. He was selling mending books at the time for 15 diamonds, so I decided to buy him out of mending books and sell them at 20, because I knew how important they were. And so he decided to make this whole village trader center, which now makes my mending books obsolete, which was nice. So yeah, on this live stream, although I was doing that, Dim was also online. She wasn't in her own live stream, but she was in on the server when we were live streaming. And yep, this is definitely a slime, slime chunk. Get rid of these guys. Excellent. And there's been a slight modification again already to her work down here. So she has, as you can probably see, we've now got some down arrows here. And I said that I wanted it all symmetrical and, you know, maybe have an up down on each side, but she had a better idea. So we've got our up and down, but on these sides, because if she wanted it to look the same but, you know, pretty, she has put in these aquariums, and they look really, really nice with the clear glass textures that I'm using. It's yeah, it looks awesome. So again, this is now completely ready for me to start doing my redstone, and really, honestly, now I'm going to do it. Well, we're nowhere near finished yet, but this gives you a better idea of what we're looking for. So as you can tell, these are quite high, so we would have the floor kind of just above this level here. It'll be a raised floor that will then drop down to that level around the edges, which means we're probably going to have to move this slightly. I'm sure Dim will be absolutely delighted about that. I'd say I've done maybe 70% of the redstone, so there's lots of redstoney things here, most of which I don't understand. I know we have a clock here, simple clock, a pulse extender here. Yeah, and they make the droppers do their droppy things, and so many hoppers used here, so many hoppers, but it's getting there. So hopefully on the next recording you should see at least the redstone completed, and possibly even have the room looking nice. Let's see. Oh dear Lord. What? Let's start with the good. You may have noticed things have changed a bit. So yeah, we have completed this entire sorting system. I'm sure I'm going to be modifying where things are placed and what goes where. I had so many slots, in fact, that I had to start being a bit ridiculous and adding a lot of spaces. So there are some things in here I can't even think of. Well, here's one that's ridiculous, just full of name tags and anvils. That's it. And there's no way I'd ever want this many name tags, but I needed to fill it, because the way that this system works is that every single slot has to have something in it. It doesn't do sorting in the hoppers like some of these systems. It does the sorting by the chests. So basically it's very simple. You have a drop-off point here, you put in your items. So I've got 19 slime balls here, so let's put that in, and off they go, and it will go through in order all of these until it finds where it needs to go, and in this case it'll be in here. So it's currently going up and down. It's not rapid, but it'll start coming in reasonably quickly. I think it can get around the entire system in about a minute and a half, from the very beginning there to the complete opposite side. You see now they're coming in. That took about, what, 15 seconds. So you essentially just chuck everything into here and it goes off and sorts it out. It goes all the way around until it gets to here, and that being the last chest. And then here is no, I lied. The last one is here, because the first one is here. And it goes into here. So basically, if it can't find something, it'll come out in this overflow here. So if it doesn't find a slot anywhere in any of these chests that it can fit into, then it goes into here. So that either means that every single one of the slots I'd assigned to it was full, or we don't have a slot assigned anywhere here. So it's nice because it means that, you know, if you do chuck a bunch of stuff in there and you don't realize that, I know, one of those things you haven't got slots for, or you're already full up on that, it doesn't cause the system to stop, it just puts it down there. Now I've also created a couple of chests here. This is the only one that's got anything in it. These are for items that I really don't have places for right now. So it'll be things like armor and tools and weapons and things like that, and things that don't stack, of course, as well, because this system does only work with stackable items, obviously, because if it was something that only allowed one item, then it wouldn't know where to put or where to sort your items into. So it's just the vast majority can be put in here, but I will need a separate armory area, or I may just stick to a couple of chests in here instead. So I created a little hatch point, a little hatchway here, which takes us down into all the redstone. And yeah, there's to be fair, although there's a lot of redstone here, it's not that difficult. I understood about 50 to 60% of what I was doing here when I was following Tango Tech's tutorial, so that's good. That's more than I normally understand, and it took maybe 2 or 3 hours to do it all. The time with the redstone was more about getting the materials. I just didn't have the materials. I had to go off and mine and put stuff together, so that took time. The vast majority of this interior was done by Dim, which was really nice. I love the way it's come out. I'm pretty sure did we complete it, or did we have one part still waiting? No, we have completed it. We haven't done the ceiling yet. That's something I think I'm going to do just before the end. I might do it after this segment actually. Obviously not just the ceiling, but these parts as well. And it has made me think that, because let me show you guys, if I take you all the way over to where all this junk was, and just so you know, to fill up all those chests and to sort it all out there took me 8 to 10 hours. It was not fun. It took a lot longer than it took to actually build the thing. So here's my area where all of my chests were. These are just empty shulkers. These are completely non-stackable items. These are my books, my fishing rods, and my bows. And to be fair, I'm thinking fishing rods and bows can be thrown, and I'll only keep a few important enchanted books, so that won't be much. We still have the fishing farm here. I'm not sure the FK farm thing. Not sure if I'll keep that. I might make it back into part of the scenery, but keep it in there in case I ever want to use it again in the future. I don't see myself using it. I haven't used it since the beginning of the season, and although that was only 6 or 7 episodes ago, I mean that must have been about a year ago, so yeah, don't need to worry about that. So the only thing that I've got here that's of any use is the nether portal, and I'm thinking that will probably go somewhere, wow, I can't even get the right side, let alone anything else. I think it's gonna go in, you see where the nipple is, and it's on definitely on a slime chunk. If you see, every time I seem to leave here there's a bunch of slimes. Let's go in and I'll have to kill them, I guess. Goodbye. No sound at the moment. I turned off my my sound. Oh no, I've got sound. I lied. Okay. Oh, die! I'm trying to tell them things, and you're just being so cute. Oh, you're good little slummy then. Is it you? Yes. Come on in. So over here we've got the enchanting area, because that was also over on that hill with everything else. Again, it's here at the moment. I think it's going to stay inside this area, but you know, I've got to pretty this area up, and I'm still not certain how I'm going to do it. I also say I want to put in the portal in here as well. So if any of you guys have got any suggestions before I do my next episode, then please let me know down in the comments, because yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I've got a few ideas in my head, but at the moment every single one of my ideas seems to me it means, you know, doing a project that takes 7, 8, 9 hours for everything, and I was like, yeah, there might be a better way to do this. So if you guys have got a better idea, let me know. I think I'm going to work on that ceiling now and hope not to make any water come down, because that would be awful. We've already done that once when I was expanding. I needed to make this area higher, and Hulk came in and started digging, and unfortunately there was water above here. So yeah, and I'd done about, I don't know, half of the redstone at that time, so a lot of it suddenly got washed away. So I had to put it all down again. Not much fun, but you know, that such is life. So hopefully that won't happen again. I'm going to do these ceilings, and probably off camera at some point. I don't know if you noticed, but when we go up and down, these tunnels are they've got nothing, you know, they're just whatever you happen to dig through. So there's dirt, there's gravel, there's andesite, there's, you know, so I'll make it a bit prettier in there as well. And I think maybe we'll do this ceiling as a time lapse. And there it is, almost complete. The only thing left to do is to fill in these areas so it doesn't look so weird. I did initially try putting this surround in between here, but because of these one gaps and things, it just didn't look right. So I thought, well, have it completely square. So what I'll do is I'll just bring these down here, and that should fix that problem. And yeah, we've made an unusual choice. We have decided to make a big chandelier out of end rods. I like it. It's growing on me. It might need this palette here. It's the first time I've ever used stripped wood, and I'm thinking that maybe this needs to change palette to fit in better with the end rods. But for the time being, this will do. If I get a sudden urge, if it doesn't grow on me or if I don't get used to it, then I will change it, but I'll keep it as it is for now. So that is it, I'm afraid, for today. A little bit better this time. I think it's taken about 2 weeks to bring this one out as opposed to 6 months of the last one, and to be fair, I was actually hoping this one would only take a week to come out, but yeah, this system took a long time to sort out. And between the last episode and this episode, I've run 2 live streams with Sir Hulk, and those live streams were between 2 and 4 hours long each one, doing bits and pieces as well. So obviously that's taken up some of my time on top of everything else. I'll leave a link, as I say, my very first 2 ever live streams that I've done. I'll put a link down to my Twitch and also to my Twitter, which I'm now using a lot more often. So thank you everyone. Thank you for those who came to the live streams, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.